New reports suggest the U.S. Navy might be seeking to decommission 8 to 10 Freedom-class Littoral combat ships earlier than expected. According to the U.S. Navy's website, there are 9 such ships in service, and 8 of them are based at Jacksonville's Naval Station Mayport.
Politico cited 3 sources saying the U.S. Navy will seek to decommission between 8 and 10 Freedom-class Littoral combat ships as part of its 2023 budget proposal. They're fast, multi-purpose, and plagued by reports of technical issues. According to the U.S. Navy, Littoral combat ships are designed to operate close to shore and are capable of maritime security, deterrence, and support.
20-foot waves, wind speed screaming past 50 knots. Every other ship has pulled back to port, but one vessel keeps cutting through the chaos at full throttle. It's the U.S. Navy's Littoral combat ship, and it was engineered for this exact punishment,
which is expected to be released in the next few weeks, according to thedrive.com. A Navy spokesperson told News4Jax they would not comment on future budgetary decisions until the budget request is sent to Congress later this year.
We serve them every day.
What would that mean to you if they retired those ships?
Well, just being honest, it may hurt us, but it may not. Like I say, some people be out of sea.
So it's not clear what will happen with the LCSs at Naval Station Mayport. William Pugh works at Infinite Cuts near the base.
This is a military barbershop.
He's been here about 6 years, and a lot of his clients are stationed at the base.
The question isn't how it survives. It's why it can't be stopped when others are forced to retreat. 2 designs, 1 mission, master the sea itself. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
Some people be here, so I can't necessarily say it'll hurt us.
The LCSs had been expected to serve 25 years, but recently 2 such ships had been decommissioned after serving just 11 and 13 years, respectively.
This ship's built here in Mobile has been damaged for the 3rd time, and it has not even seen combat. This incident has many criticizing whether the LCS is really ready for combat.
Last year, the Navy recommended decommissioning 4 LCSs. The Navy has admitted it would likely take years to fix issues with Freedom-class Littoral combat ships' propulsion systems.
The waves don't bargain. They strike steel the same way they strike rock, without mercy. Traditional destroyers and frigates have learned that lesson for decades. When seas rise beyond 12 feet, the roll starts to build. Then the deck slams down with the full weight of 1,000 tons meeting a living wall of water. Guns lose alignment. Radar dishes flicker. The sea strips control by vibration alone. A heavy hull looks strong on paper, but mass is a double-edged sword. The larger the frame, the slower the correction. Inertia turns every wave into a hammer.
It has not been a smooth ride for one of the Navy's newest littoral combat ships, the USS Montgomery, built right here in Mobile. The ship was commissioned in September, and as it left the port city, it suffered 2 engine breakdowns.
Navy ships have issues, mechanical issues, all the time.
Other LCS ships have also had engine problems. That's left many questioning the durability of these ships and its manufacturing. Then 2 days ago, the Navy says it hit a center wall in the Panama Canal and sustained an 18-inch long crack. The ship has yet to make it to her home port, San Diego.
When a hull resists, the stress travels through beams, sensors, and bulkheads until delicate systems buckle. Power has to be cut to stabilizers just to stop the shaking. Crew members brace as control screens freeze mid-redoubt. Those ships were designed for the deep blue calm of open ocean patrols, not the confined violence near coastlines. Close to land, storms rebound off the seafloor, stacking swells from multiple directions.
Navy Secretary Ray Mabus responded to that criticism at a luncheon this Friday.
Every time you brought in a new class of Navy ship, same sort of thing, same sort of reports. These ships are terrible, we ought to quit building.
The commander of the Pacific Command, Admiral Harry Harris, we met with him at the RIMPAC, and he said, look, when I was a new naval officer, we were in the Cold War with the Soviet Union.
In the meantime, Congressman Bradley Byrne, a strong advocate for the LCS program, says their utility outweighs these challenges.
We always had to be worried about these little Soviet corvettes, is what they call them, small ships, that had missiles on them. because there were so many of them, and they can move them around wherever they wanted to.
A destroyer must slow down or change course to avoid slamming into its own bow wave. That delay costs presence. Radar coverage shrinks. Missiles that rely on steady platforms lose accuracy. Helicopters grounded by pitching flight decks wait for better weather that may never come. Meanwhile, the Littoral combat ship holds speed. During a Pacific cyclone, while older frigates drew back for safety checks, an LCS maintained full operations, link steady, systems green. The difference isn't bravery, it's geometry and intent. Where others ride the sea, the LCS engages it. Combat readiness collapses when the ship yields to motion. Once radar can't lock or guns can't aim, the mission dies long before the hull breaks. So the question isn't which ship survives, it's which one accelerates when the ocean turns lethal. Traditional hulls fall back. The LCS moves forward. Now, two designs, two philosophies, face the same enemy, the sea itself. The Littoral combat ship splits its fight into two forms, two hulls, one shared goal. Stay fast when the sea tries to kill speed itself. The Independence class stands first, a tri-hull of aluminum that looks more like a blade than a vessel. Its center spine cuts through crests while the twin outriggers clamp the roll, holding the deck so stable that helicopters can still land and lift when waves hit 20 feet. Instead of resisting motion, it divides it, spreading the impact across 3 contact points, so energy never collects in a single blow. The logic behind the design is simple but brutal. Width brings balance. The outriggers act like armor for motion, flattening pitch before it grows into a roll. In storm zones, crews report steady footing even as spray covers the tower and visibility drops to mist. The shape does the work, not brute weight. Waves pass through the gaps like bullets through wind. But the Freedom class argues for lift over leverage. A steel hybrid built to plane across the surface. Rather than piercing the wave, it glides atop it, using buoyant geometry and speed to surf the water's energy instead of absorb it. The hull's curves redirect pressure, so each crest lifts rather than strikes. Less surface contact means less drag, keeping velocity high when everything else slows. Propulsion completes the equation. Independence uses 4 water jets that vector thrust, trimming bow angle in real time. Freedom relies on steerable pods synced with water jets that sense and correct roll before the crew even feels the shift. Thousands of internal sensors track pitch, stress, and thrust angles every second, feeding an onboard network that adjusts trim almost instantly. In effect, one ship dances with the waves. The other leans into them. Both convert chaos into control, and that's the true secret of sea dominance. When the storm builds, they move faster. The others stop. The ocean will always win against anything that resists it. That's why the Littoral combat ship doesn't fight the water, it sinks with it. Its survival isn't luck, it's physics, feedback, and design working together. Real-time sensors feed constant corrections, turning chaos into rhythm. The hull flexes, thrust vectors shift, and the storm stops being an obstacle. It becomes data. Where mass once meant safety, intelligence now holds the line. These ships prove control isn't about strength, but adaptation. The ocean changes every second. The LCS changes faster. Subscribe and join a community that studies how engineering defines survival at sea.